forecast meeting. These can vary in a lot of different ways and in methodologies, but it's not uncommon to encounter, what do you mean you're lowering your forecast? What do you mean you're not closing the deal this week? What do you mean you're not forecasting anything this week? Often followed by the lovely question, if you are lowering your forecast, okay, well, what are you going to do to make up that difference? Like you haven't thought of that already. Or there's those situations where you're asked to provide very specific details on all of the steps that are going to be having to happen in the closing of a sale, of engaging with a client. Literal check sheets of have you determined who the decision maker is the funding validated, all of these things that have an intention of breaking it down. But in another aspect, what I contend in the feeling that's come over me powerfully with this over the years that I've been doing it is you're losing the core. It's all about the numbers. It's all about making the sale. When I was at Pepsi, I was thinking to myself, I don't even know what I'm selling anymore. I'm just here to try to make this happen. They had already put me through the grind of getting the price brought lower and lower, terms more and more to their liking, and it just becomes this scenario where they don't trust me, to a degree I don't trust them, and we're in this environment where it is almost combative. And I thought to myself over time, like, it doesn't have to be this way. I think it's actually an antiquated way of doing some things. There's always going to be negotiating. There's always going to be trying to get a better deal. A lot of that is what has allowed America to become what it's become, as far as driving, going after things, wanting to get that good deal. But I still think that there's a better way. And interestingly, we live in a time where I think a lot of people are becoming aware of that. I think there's actually kind of an awakening that's happening, where it's becoming more and more seen that you need to be real. You need to approach things in a way that is uplifting, in a way that you're actually providing value, and it doesn't have to be combative. And that's become a passion for me, this aspect of selling with love, and talking about this as the beginning, because this is a lot of the foundational roots of what prompted this in me, and something that's moved me to want to have this be something that I'm able to talk to people about, and to bring out, and to have it become vibrant and alive and aware. I am idealistic. Absolutely. I don't have any question about that. And this is an idealistic notion. But I think there is a need and a value to bring this back out and refreshed. It went further for me, though, because with this, as I started to get deeper and deeper into it, I was coming at it from a salesperson's perspective and selling to the corporate world. But what I really began to realize is what we're talking about here is at the core of it for everybody. Because in a way we all sell. I'm not going to get all into that, but there's an element of that. But even further than that, we're all hungry and starving for our why. Why do we do what we do? What is giving us passion? What is making us get up and do things? Most people, myself included, I'll just speak for myself, a lot of the why is to get paycheck. And it's to do the things I do, and you just go on doing that. We all have our time. And we want to use it to its full extent. I'm going to leave you with a thought. This is one of the things that came out in a practical application of this aspect of selling with love, because that's what I'm trying to do, is give practical methodologies to do that. Sounds great, sounds idealistic, but there's actually ways to tangibly do it. And I encourage you today, when you're encountered with decisions in your lives, which we all are, and you ask yourself, okay, what to do here? How do I go about this? And most of us, I believe in our hearts, want to do the right thing. It's sometimes not vividly clear what that might be, because we have so much noise going on inside of us, inside of everything we do. So many inputs that people are giving us. My encouragement to you is this. It seems simple, but sometimes the most compelling and powerful things are simple. Take a breath. Consider what you're making a decision on, and ask yourself, what is the right thing to do? And then be quiet. Give yourself a minute. I bet you your inside voice is going to tell you right thing to do is. Try it. Try it today. We all have decisions. We all have our time. Make yours count. Thank you.